Well, as the Beijing Winter Olympics get underway, safety concerns continue to grow for athletes and journalists alike. Yesterday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi warned athletes participating in the Games not to comment on China's abuses because it is better not to, quote, risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. Meanwhile, a Dutch journalist who was reporting on the opening ceremonies was dragged away by Chinese security live on the air. And joining me now is John Schweppe, Director of Policy and Government Affairs at the American Principles Project. John, welcome back. Great to see you. A lot to get to today, but I want to start with the Olympics. Your thoughts on the Games and also Speaker Pelosi's warning to the athletes.
Well, normally we look at the Olympics as something exciting for the whole world to enjoy. This year, there's a dark, ominous cloud over the Olympics. It actually is reminiscent of the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. We have a power here in China that's committing genocide against its own people. And, our own athletes are in danger there. They do not have freedom of speech or anything like that. And it's really kind of a scary thing. So, we see all these things, a lot of propaganda that the Chinese government's going to be putting out there. We want our American athletes, obviously, to do well. They've worked hard to get where they are, but this is kind of something to keep an eye on, and it is very dangerous.
Yeah, John, something else I want to talk about regarding the Olympics really quickly. It's raising a lot of eyebrows. The Uyghur athlete who was chosen to be one of the final torchbearers at the opening ceremony. I'd like to get your take on that and the message you think that China was trying to send.
Well, I'll remind folks, this happened at the 1936 Olympics as well. There was an athlete named Helene Meyer who was Jewish, who fled to America and then was actually brought back to Germany to compete for the Nazis, presumably under threat to her family. This is, the situation here. You can't necessarily trust that this is a free person acting of their own volition when you have Uyghur Muslims in Chinese concentration camps. And so, again, this is just a very problematic, doesn't even get into it. It's a dangerous situation, and I think our leaders are right to want to do diplomatic boycotts.
Yeah, I want to pivot here just a bit. I want to talk about Facebook. Their stock took a nosedive yesterday, dropping 26%. I want to talk a little bit more about that and the reason for that steep decline. What do you think?
Well, I think Wall Street was reacting to a couple things. They've had slowed growth on users and that sort of thing. But also, Mark Zuckerberg has taken a very strange tack in the last couple months. He's really promoted, obviously renamed their company Meta, and he's promoting this idea where their new business model is trying to create the world from the Matrix. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. It's very strange. And I think Wall Street didn't like it, didn't like what they heard on the earnings call, and reacted by selling off.
Yeah, and Spotify is another one that's been in the spotlight over Joe Rogan, the popular podcaster. Some artists said that they are giving, an ultimatum to Spotify: remove Joe Rogan, or they're going to remove their music from the platform. Your thoughts on that and what that signals?
It's dangerous. Look, as America has always prided itself on free speech, we're seeing the left continue to push against that. Even the Obamas are being talked about as possibly leaving the Spotify platform now. All because Joe Rogan asks questions and has people on who are questioning the prevailing mainstream media narrative. It's really dangerous for speech, and it's something to keep an eye on because, once people feel like they can't speak out, we're not really a free democracy anymore, and I think that's really a problem.
Yeah, John, not a whole lot of time left, but I want to talk about something that's a little closer to home. I know, too, you want to talk about Loudoun County, Virginia, and I know that's been on your radar as well. Students there are now being threatened with suspension for not following the school district's mask mandate. Now, that's even though an executive order by the governor makes those masks optional, and I understand there are some lawsuits now on the table. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, I think you're seeing courageous student protest, which there's a long history of in this country. And, these students are standing up for what they believe the law is because Governor Youngkin has proclaimed it that way. He was elected, and these school districts aren't obeying it. So hopefully the lawsuits go the right way.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. John, always appreciate your time and analysis. Thank you so much.
Thank you.